Well, hello again, race fans, and just in time to get going here for the 2021 IndyCar iRacing Series. Welcome once again for round 12 of 15 at the Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway. Of course, Gateway is the way that I know it for so many years, and still hard to get used to that name, but it is Worldwide Technology Raceway here at Gateway. Two very different corners will present quite a challenge to these competitors of the IndyCar iRacing Series. It's known as the egg sometimes. I see it as possibly the avocado or the eggplant, depends on how you want to associate it with your favorite fruit or vegetable. Either way, two very different corners to set up for, and as I mentioned, that will truly present some challenges for the competitors in this ongoing championship. Of course, this a year-long, well, not really a full year, it's more like 5 months or so, but spanning multiple seasons of iRacing. There's only one a year, and so this championship, a true test of commitment and dedication to qualifying well and showing up for every race and hopefully being there at the end, even with 3 drop weeks after 15 weeks. That's what this series is all about, picking and choosing the right times to get out there and strategize and get those points for the week. So the cars are just now taking to the track for their qualifying efforts, and we will head down track side. You can see we're going to be doing 186 laps of action, lots of battling, hopefully not too many yellow flags. Take a look at where everybody is at the moment on your screen. As soon as it wants to pop up for us. Sometimes it likes to hold out like that. But it is actually Adam Crane who has momentarily taken the pole position from Andrew Marquez and Alexis Newsom. Jesper Orman in 4th place, Dennis Fritz in 5th. And we will take a moment to see if we can get this to refresh. Well, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, as it appears some sort of conspiracy between Formula One management, YouTube, and Comcast, my internet provider, has... yellow. And there finally we go yellow. I apologize for all of the action that we have missed on track thus far, but you haven't missed a lot. Besides Mattia Passini just now crashing, we're going to go back to that. Looks like Passini just pulling off there. We'll have to go back earlier than that. Let's see if we go back to here. And Passini just up in the wall there. That affecting the handling of the race car. Apparently enough to cause Passini to suffer more issues, and that will bring out our first yellow here. Again, apologize for the technical difficulties. We did have them solved some time ago. However, it seemed like we had multiple glitches at the same time from different softwares. Would you believe we've been set up for an hour, but they released an update for our timing software, and then we had some sort of an internet glitch between Comcast and YouTube. But we are back live, and we appreciate you joining us over on YouTube. As Adam Crane now hits the pits, we are 32 laps into this one, actually working lap 33. And this is a 2,600, I believe, strength of field, estimated strength of field. So you really have not missed a whole lot from where we started. About the biggest movers so far, just to bring you up to date, it is Adam Crane in 1st place. Started from pole, remains in 1st. Andrew Marquez started 2nd, fell back on the start. Will get back out there in 5th place as Alexis Newsom retakes 2nd place on the track. That's where Alexis has been racing all race. And Jesper Orman in 3rd place. Orman getting around a couple of drivers on the start, as well as Chris Willite doing fantastically, now up into the 4th place. In the 4th position, Chris Willite gaining 3 spots on the day. Andrew Marquez starting the day in 5th spot, but sliding back 3 spots. This is not uncommon for Andrew Marquez, and Dennis Fritz as well, losing a spot on the start. Rob Unglenix also climbing 3 spots since the start. So Unglenix actually having a good race thus far today. We look forward to seeing him actually finish well here on broadcast. It seems like we don't get to cover the race where Unglenix actually does finish well each week, unfortunately. Usually does well on the Wednesday races. But hopefully going to get a top 5 or so this week. And Matthias Kraus out here with a brand new livery this week. Awesome to see Matthias getting some new sponsors on board and a really racy new paint scheme. Congratulations to the Bavarian. And Alex J. Richardson now up into 9th. Very patient, working forward from 13th on the grid. And now that green livery car, absolutely custom, beautiful livery. Of course, myself very much enjoy the green color racing. And so look at that dynamic livery sparkling under these lights. Hope you're enjoying it there in the YouTube chat room. Cesar Manzato, another gorgeous livery. You can see it there really up close, sparkling. Richard Crozier in 11th spot. Laura Gearhart right now in 12th, hanging in there up 2 spots. Ruben Torres in 13th and 14th. Chris Bartel, Justin Petschauer currently in 15th, and Emil Johansson in 16th. Dan Ench in 17th, just going down a lap before that caution, but Dan will get the wave around and will bring that Alzheimer's Association, the alz.org machine around. Quentin Waynick there shown in 18th place, up 4 spots. Kurt Jensen having an issue a moment ago, and Alex Foden 20th. Going win in 21st, and Mattia Passini our first retirement today. So we go back up to the front. Again, this is our first caution. Apologize for the technical difficulties. Again, seeing there's more updates available for our timing software. We're not going to do that during broadcast time. Oh, thank you for technology making internet streaming possible. Thomas Christensen joining us over in the YouTube chat room, letting us know that he is not the oldest competitor out there, and that is for certain. As Adam Crane going to lead us back to the start. And here we go for more green flag action. Lap 37 of 186, and we're set to go for another stint. The IndyCar iRacing Series. You are watching live and uninterrupted coverage. So Alexis Newsom starts in second, and looks like it's going to file out just kind of the way that they started, as these drivers now sort of settling in. Nobody really challenging. And just as we say that, Rob Unglennick starting to get a little racy with Dennis Fritz. Perhaps the new tires after the pit stop, feeling good on the Unglennick's machine coming forward. Looks down the inside of Dennis Fritz, headed into turn 3. Fritz hanging tough on the outside, not able to get it done. We have a note that Alex Foden passing Quentin Waynick for 19th place. And that is now Alex Foden entering the pits as well. Dan Ench getting by Justin Petschauer. I think Petschauer perhaps coming into the pits. Don't have that footage for you. We go back up to the front. Apologize for the jumping around of the cameras. There we go. Adam Crane at the front, putting in the new fastest lap of 25.96 for the series defending champion, the series points leader, Adam Crane. Alexis Newsom running in second place. We'll get the points championship, the championship points, if I can say it correctly, up on the screen here on the next caution or in a little bit, but suffice to say it is Crane in the lead by a commanding margin. And Jesper Orman running in third, doing quite well as you would expect. The Three Crowns Racing driver, tremendous amount of talent on ovals especially. Chris Willite now running in fourth place. This is before Andrew Marquez hanging tight in fifth, Dennis Fritz in sixth, and Unglennick's now possibly under attack from one of our other championship contenders, Matthias Kraus. Kraus having been competing and running well each week and having fought his way up into the points. Take a look at those points here in just a minute. Take a look from Alex J. Richardson's point of view here running in ninth place. You see the battle happening up in front. It's Matthias Kraus is starting to line up in Unglennick's, and now these drivers starting to settle in for some more green flag stints. Hopefully some more green flag runs. They do say that cautions breed cautions, but hopefully that's not the case, as the laps do reel off quite quickly once we keep the green flags going, but once the yellows come out, it can be quite lengthy. As we have a note that Andrew Marquez having an issue sliding down the order. What has happened to Andrew Marquez sliding out of the order? Perhaps a disconnection issue? I'm not sure. It happened very, very quickly. we'll take a look, and there Andrew Marquez just simply disappears from the broadcast, and that unfortunate. I'm going to go back and take a look just because we want to verify that there was, in fact, no accident whatsoever. There we are on board with Marquez and just leaves. So, unfortunate circumstances for one of our championship contenders, but internet striking there. I haven't heard of perhaps a internet issue affecting across, across the nation or anything like that, but that does happen on occasion to different providers, etc. Not sure if that's what happened, but hopefully we can get Andrew Marquez at least back in the race. And in the meantime, we'll recap where we're at. And Adam Crane still in the lead with Lexus Newsom running in second and Jesper Orman running in third. Kind of skipped over Jesper Orman there. Apologize for that. That gorgeous gold machine with the deep navy blue, if I can say, matte paint. It's really cool what you can do with these liveries now. Of course, you see Vopsy. That's Vilda Wallen's official Instagram and iRacing livery name. So if you're looking for a great livery artist, that would be one to suggest, especially one that truly understands how to get that chrome and matte and all of those finishes to go. Look up Vopsy if you are interested. As you can see, also Chris Willite running for their own sponsor, Bumper Thumper. And perhaps, Chris is super clean. I had a run-in, unfortunately, that was probably more my fault than Chris's fault. But in an open race recently, and it's just not something you see out of Chris. Chris does not typically end up in contact situations, and so, one of the cleaner racers in the IndyCar iRacing series, he was almost shocked that we had an accident. He just does not get into incidents that often. So great to have Chris part of the show here on Fridays. Here's Robin Glenix from Michigan. Also one of the top IndyCar competitors there every season, right up there in the points, in the championship results. As you see, Glenix under heavy attack by Matthias Kraus. Will we see a move down the inside? Be one of the first actual passing attempts that we've seen here recently, as this one's starting to get a little spread out on lap 51. Currently the lead about 7. Yellow. And there we are, yellow. It is Quentin Waynick. Quentin Waynick having a problem, and they're suffering an issue, putting it up into turn 2 wall. That brings out our second caution of the day. Waynick has to, and that came after Waynick pitted. So let's take a look, maybe as we can get our software to cooperate. There we go. So Waynick leaving pit lane and then comes out onto the track. It's just 14 seconds later that we have an incident, so we'll take a look from Waynick's point of view what happens. But we're exiting from the pits. Now Waynick, one of our iRacers that has an A license, 3.14 safety rating at the moment. You can see exiting out onto the track, and then I'm guessing it's this corner here suffers a problem. Yes, right there. It almost looked like he got punted. We'll have to back that up. I really couldn't tell. It was just a snap oversteer situation, and there, a hit on the outside. I couldn't even tell who that was. We'll back it up and take a look. I didn't see that driver, but it was, in fact, the number 17 of Chris Bartel, who got caught up in that incident coming together. I think maybe just not really reading the situation right, heading into the corner and taking a little bit too much speed, clipping the edge. Unfortunately, that's going to really affect Quentin Waynick and Chris Bartel's day. Both of these are A-licensed drivers with safety ratings up in the 3s, so just kind of getting it wrong in that particular corner, and that does bring out our second caution today. We have not seen anybody in the top except for Ruben Torres, who had gotten up into 6th place. We have not seen anybody from the top making their second pit stop yet. So that will bring Alexis Newsom to be the first person. I'm sorry. So catching up with the strategy there, as you can see, Alexis Newsom now having pitted for the second time, now under caution, and also Jesper Orman pitting under caution, but Adam Crane and Chris Willite, as well as Robin Glennick, Cesar Manzato, Chris Crozier, all deciding to stay out, so we have quite a split strategy happening at the moment. Let's see if we can get some of that information up on the screen. As soon as possible, we will try to get that on the screen for you. So we take a look at the top of the order, and it is Adam Crane and Chris Willite who are now first and second, as we had Chris Bartel now jump into the pits. And this will leave Crane, Willite, Unglenix, Manzato, Crozier as drivers not yet pitted under this caution. That will be quite interesting, as it will leave these drivers 20 laps different on their fuel strategy and tire strategy, and potentially might leave them exposed to drivers behind that can charge a little bit harder on fresher tires and go a little bit longer than them. So we'll have to see how this works out. Very difficult strategy call, always tough to tell when these cautions are going to come out. You always have to be adapting to what's happening out there. As the lights are out on the pace car, get set to go here for another round of action. It's been an interesting one at Worldwide Technology Raceway, an initial technology issue keeping us from covering qualifying and the start. But we're so glad that you're with us over on YouTube, and despite other issues, we are continuing with our coverage. So Adam Crane getting ready to lead us back to green. Will Chris Willite be able to challenge for the lead? We watch on board from Rob Unglenix as Unglenix gets a little bit left behind on that start. Perhaps older tires, perhaps not quite being ready to go there, and also Cesar Manzato getting left behind a little bit. So gap opening to these drivers. Richard Crozier, as we typically do, having connection issues, popping in and out. Alexis Newsom, our first driver on new tires. What can she do, as we look forward to seeing Alexis charge through the field? It is definitely a possibility, and teammate Jesper Orman sitting just behind. Will Jesper be able to join in that charge forward, trying to get back up there to the front? And Crozier slides backwards, and it's Alex J. Richardson having an issue. What has happened? The driver getting it a little too high in the corner and losing control, sliding up into the turn 2 wall, excuse me. We'll back it up on your screen and take a look at that as we go yellow again. And unfortunately, yellows do breed yellows. Sad to say that old adage might be true. That might have possibly been contact. Let's go back and take one more look at that from outside the car and see if perhaps there was contact. And indeed there was, that being Laura Gearhart in 9th spot. And I tell you what, that looks almost identical to what we saw before. I think Laura read that a little too aggressively and unfortunately just Too bad reading that with a little bit too much speed there, going into the corner, and just makes contact, tearing off the nose piece on that car momentarily, but we don't know what actual damage that might have done to the Gerhardt machine, the Gerhardt IndyCar. Well, unfortunately, that leaves... that changes everything yet again, as Adam Crane continues to circulate in the lead, has not yet pitted. We're now back on board with Jesper Orman, but we'll go back up to the lead. Adam Crane still in the lead and has not yet pitted the second time. We wait to see if possibly we'll do so this time. In the meantime, let's finally get those points up there on the screen for you. As soon as we can get that to go. So, the championship standings are Adam Crane in first, Matthias Kraus in second, Henry Bennett sliding back into third, and Hugo Olsson also dropping quite a ways back. These drivers taking a couple of weeks off. I'm not sure if that's the intention or the plan, or what their strategy is to try to race this championship. I just figured they were involved in some other things and would rejoin the championship, and they still can. So we're here on race 12. But you can see some drivers already competing on Wednesday and moving up in the points, that being Joseph Pisciotta and Christopher Block now moving up into the top 15. As well as Robin Glennick's having a good week and moving up as well, now in 6th position in the points. Andrew Marquez, there you see, in 4th. So drop weeks will become important as we go forward, and we will try to stay on top of how those points will shape up over the long run. But Adam Crane doing everything necessary to get into the lead of the points, just doing everything week in and week out to qualify at the front, and also to have consistent finishes at the front, winning many of these Broadcast Fridays, which have also been the highest strength of field races of the week. Well, unfortunately, a new glitch appearing for our software. This is cutting-edge software, folks, and they're making changes all the time. A new glitch, unfortunately, keeping us from doing some of the graphics that we would like to be able to do, which is part of the internet. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show you some of the positional graphics and information about the track map, and things along those nature at the moment. But we do have our core functionality of the ticker, and of course the cameras are functional. So we continue coverage here on IndyCar iRacing Series Network, which is VirtualRacing.Network, and Adam Crane continues as your leader as we get ready to start lap 61. Excuse me, lap 60.
Green flag.
That's right, lap 62 here. The Worldwide Technology Raceway. Once again, I'm Trevor Greenfield, bringing you all of the coverage today, and we are yellow that quickly as Alex Foden had a moment and looks like received a love tap from Dennis Fritz. We will back that one up and take a look, but as we mentioned, cautions do breed other cautions. And you can see it pretty clear there. And Dennis Fritz making a move inside, and it appears about a little bit of netcode got the worst of Alex Foden And unfortunately, Fritz possibly sustaining damage as well. Always a possibility from those, but we don't know exactly because iRacing does not report that. So, you know, every time one of these cautions comes out, it always changes the strategy a little bit. And so I'll try to give you some manual strategy adjustments. Basically, Adam Crane is currently your leader. Chris Willite and Rob Unglenik, Cesar Manzato, all hanging out there in the lead and choosing track position, only stopping once thus far. And so still on the old tires, lighter fuel at the moment, but lurking in the background behind Richard Crozier is Alexis Newsom. Newsom having stopped much later, as well as Jesper Orman having stopped later, and Dennis Fritz as well, Matthias Kraus and Emil Johansson. Numerous drivers stopping much later than the top 5 at the moment. So this will really shake some things up in terms of what happens from here and where the yellows fall. This being an oval, 2 very different corners, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, a real challenge to keep the tires under you and keep the fall off at a minimum. And so new tires will absolutely play a role in the long run here. And it being a shorter oval track, well, you certainly can get trapped a lap down if you're on the wrong pit strategy. So it's a question how this is all going to work out here, as Adam Crane, Chris Willite, Rob Unglenik, Cesar Manzato, Richard Crozier, Alexis Newsom, Jesper Orman, Dennis Fritz, Matthias Kraus, and Emil Johansson make up your top 10. And we've got about, I think we're going to do another lap under caution as well. So, lights not yet out on the pace car. And it's a perfect time, I guess, then for me to discuss a little bit more while we have a second. Perhaps you have heard some rumors floating around about VirtualRacing.Network and our future. And I just want to say I want to focus on our positives of what we've been able to achieve thus far, just in about a season's worth of broadcasting, and with your help tuning in over and over and over again over on the YouTube chat room and tuning in live and being able to like and subscribe to us. We're now well over 100 subscribers, and that just works out great because we're able to offer more and more programming going forward and continue to broadcast IndyCar iRacing series. So every single time that you support us in any way, shape, or form, it helps all of us to grow together, and collectively we can continue to do broadcasting and bring you this great series as well as many more. Of course, here at VirtualRacing.Network, since we started, I started VirtualRacing.Network in October of 2020. Not really sure where it would fit in the grand scheme of things. And when the IndyCar iRacing series started this season, I thought, what a crying shame there is no coverage of it. And so why not start? And it's been a bumpy ride of a lot of updates and getting things wrong. As you saw today, we are not done with that growth process at all. But we try to get better every single week, and we have great plans in store for the future. We hope you will continue to join us here on VirtualRacing.Network and continue to support us and bring you now the Prime Meridian Racing League's races on Wednesdays. That is an exciting series going on that has just started this season, and lots of great competition. Many Europeans and others from outside the United States involved in that series, PMRL. Look them up on Wednesdays and check their broadcasts out on the network, as well as the U.S. IndyCar League, which we have been covering all season long. They're wrapping up their season. We cover them 7 o'clock a.m. out here on the west coast of the United States. Whatever that translates to you in your part of the world, it is fun and exciting IndyCar action on Sundays. And here we go again for more action as we see Chris Willite starting in second and Rob Unglenik in third. But it's Adam Crane, your defending points champion and season points leader, in first. Richard Crozier there in fifth. And in 6th place, Alexis Newsom. And Newsom, I don't know if she is able to see Crozier better than we can here as part of this broadcast, but unfortunately, it's a common problem with Crozier dipping in and out of viewability. But meanwhile, these drivers able to get by, including Jesper Orman, who's right behind Alexis Newsom. These drivers working together out of the Three Crowns Racing team with IAR for Alexis Newsom. And so we take a look again through the field. It's Chris Willite and Adam Crane. Adam Crane in first, Chris Willite second, and Glennox in third now, with Manzato back in fourth. Up 5 positions for Manzato, and Glennox up 7 spots, Willite up 5 spots. So these drivers gambling with track position. But this driver right here is the one to keep circled. Alexis Newsom coming forward in a hurry. Fresher tires by 20 laps. A little bit more fuel. And not so scared as some of these other drivers of making it to the end here, as Dennis Fritz is now down 3 spots in 8th spot at the moment, just behind Matthias Kraus, crawling up 2 spots on the day thus far. That beautiful new livery for Matthias Kraus and some new sponsors on board that machine. Great to have you joining us on Broadcast Friday, Matthias. The Bavarian doing quite well up in the points. But we look forward, and at the front, this battle raging at the moment as Alexis Newsom and Cesar Manzato. Alexis Newsom gets by Manzato, as does Orman, now to the inside in turn 3. As they exit turn 4, it's now Newsom in 5th place. I'm sorry, in 4th place, and Orman in 5th. Manzato with those older tires now sliding backwards. So as Newsom begins that charge forward, we wonder how long it will be until Glennox is under attack. We ride on board with Newsom. This is the most exciting battle happening at the moment on the track. We do see that Dennis Fritz and Matthias Kraus are also battling it out there for 7th spot. Dan Ench appears to be the last car on the lead lap at the moment, so Dan working that fuel save strategy, but all these cautions getting in the way. We also have a note that Alex Foden has had another issue, has jumped back to the pits. So Foden not having a great day this afternoon. But Alexis Newsom currently taking advantage of cautions and pit strategy and leading Jesper Orman forward on new tires and possibly 20 laps worth or so new fuel. So really just a matter of time here, I think, until Newsom moves forward and potentially can do better. We can see that Andrew Marquez has actually... Is Andrew Marquez back in this race? I believe Andrew Marquez did get back out there. The driver disconnecting earlier, and we can see live on board, it's Alexis Newsom to the inside of Robin Glennox in turn 3. She tries holding it tight in turn 3, and will Rob get that run off of the corner on the outside of turn 4 and hold the position? He does. Newsom takes a look back to the inside, and Glennox holds tight on the outside. This is something that drivers are very experienced doing. Working the inside, working the outside, knowing how your car wants to do battle today. Something that you definitely know by this moment here, working lap 77 of 186. Such a pleasure to have you with us here live on VirtualRacing.Network as we watch this 3-way battle happening for 3rd place on the track. It's Robin Glennox in 3rd place, holding off a hard-charging Alexis Newsom. Three Crowns Racing with IAR, and Jesper Orman just behind in the Three Crowns Racing machine. There they are side by side again, down the straightaway and into turns 1 and 2. This battle just continues to rage on, and Jesper Orman now deciding to move back just a little bit, give these two room to battle up in front, and battle they will continue to do. So we watch to see on board with Newsom now. We watch to see whether or not Newsom can manage to take that position, that podium spot away from Robin Glennox. Had the pleasure several seasons ago of getting to race with Rob here at this track. Seems like so long ago, but it's a good race until I made a boneheaded move and took Rob out. It's always a danger here. I never say I'm the most perfect driver. I do try to learn from my mistakes, though, and these drivers do this every single day, pretty much. They're in the cockpit, battling it out, learning their craft, learning the skill of passing and the draft. So we watch from Jesper Orman's point of view how this might shake out in front. A second gap back to Cesar Manzato now. As Orman waits for these two to continue to decide who will take that final podium position. Perhaps Orman in fuel save mode as well. Always got to figure out, you know, how many laps can I get away with running green flag out here? How many laps can I get out of this fuel tank? And that is always a question mark. So we see Jesper Orman running in fifth, Alexis Newsom in fourth, Robin Glennox in third. Looks like we also still have quite a battle raging on a little bit further back. This is a three-way battle here between Crozier, Fritz, and Kraus, playing havoc with our timing and scoring every time that Crozier blinks in and out, but nevertheless, that's part of the game here. Fritz now under attack by Kraus, one of our championship leading drivers, for that eighth position. Would you believe Fritz only a D-rated driver with 4.99, so just barely squeaking in to the qualifications to get into the race. But Fritz running a very strong 8th place, and definitely outperforming the iRating of 1658. Fortunately, having just a moment ago, and there you can see a driver on the outside really struggling. I'm not sure, is that Alex Foden? No, that was not. Go and Win, there you go, that's who that was. Really going slowly, perhaps having damage on the outside, really struggling, and the leaders struggling to get by. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Go and Win, but the American there having issues and going a little slowly for traffic to get by. Back at the front, it is Adam Crane out in front by 1.4 seconds. Just seems to be able to turn up that wick anytime that he wants. The Canadian, just a master of the in-car adjustments and getting the most out of those tires. Looking substantially good for today's potential victory, but again, it's still a long race to go. We're not even halfway here. So you're watching live here on VirtualRacing.Network, round 12 of 15, the Worldwide Technology Raceway. It's the IndyCar iRacing Series, and I'll tell you who's been very impressive. It's Robin Glennox running in third place on those older tires, able to defend quite well, not letting Alexis Newsom get that final podium position, though you can tell Alexis wants to take that spot. It is true possibly that Alexis might be, there is always the possibility that Alexis might be trying to save some of that fuel and hang in the draft of Rob. it would be a 4.3 second gap to overcome up to Chris Willite, and so that is a long ways to have to, burn tires all by yourself and burn gas all by yourself. So perhaps the smart play on this one is hanging in the draft of Robin Lennox, saving some fuel, and then truly having vastly more fuel at the end of this one. It may also come down to calculating how much fuel you might need for the end of this one, as it looks like Orman not necessarily content to sit at a safe distance behind, as Newsom actually dives down the inside momentarily of Lennox, showing that nose. Newsom goes down the inside once again as they exit turn 2. Has to back out of it. I've been in exactly this same position myself. And there dives down the inside, trying to take possibly Robin Lennox by surprise through turn 3. This is almost a carbon copy of the race that I had there in my league race in Indy Elite, where I tried to get by a couple of drivers on the inside, and that outside group was just too much to overcome. But Alexis Newsom and finally possibly Jesper Orman. No, Jesper Orman still struggling to get around Lennox. Lennox now showing some true mastery of defense here. Really able to hold great pace and keep some secure footing on the track. This is some fantastic stuff that we're seeing for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position. Greatly appreciated, as this track is known for possibly spreading out at various times. So it is great to have this kind of battle happening right here on camera and live on VirtualRacing.Network, as Orman continues to try to work on the backside of Lennox, force Lennox into a position there. Lennox stays to the inside and essentially gives Orman the outside position. It's possible that Lennox might be headed to pit lane, not actually this lap, so perhaps Lennox suffering there, and Willite now into the pits. So this one of your leaders not able to stay out any longer, finally calling it and bringing it into the pits on lap 96. So we watch to see how much time Willite will lose. When we take a look here at Adam Crane circulating on track, your current leader now by 6.8 seconds over Alexis Newsom, as Robin Lennox did pull into the pits. Now it looks like Dan Inch in danger of going lap down, but there Adam Crane, your leader, pulls it into the pits. We'll watch and see his entry. Does he get it woed up in time? It does look solid. You would expect nothing less from the series defending champion and points leader as he pulls it in, and Alexis Newsom does go sailing by and take over the lead. And this is for legitimate lead of the race. Alexis on an earlier pit strategy. We wait to see how all of this fuel strategy will work out, but now in clean air, and it is Alexis's turn to shine in the spotlight as a leader here on Broadcast Friday. It's been a long time in the making. Currently your leader here at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. One of those drivers that is part of that conversation. You almost want to call her the next generation of iRacing IndyCar superstars that has come up in the order, doing very well, racing in the Indy Open Series as well as the IndyCar iRacing Series. And so great to see this driver excelling here, as now Alexis Newsom up into first, Jesper Orman in second, and you saw, we'll go back and take a look at that. Adam Crane not happy to be caught out a lap down and have to work his way back through traffic, through Jesper Orman. But he needs to get it done, as he can't afford the time lost and to stay down a lap where he's at. Adam Crane there working the inside of Jesper Orman, that not for position. But Crane trying to get that lap back. The next stop up will be Alexis Newsom, but Alexis is up the track a ways. You can see quite a gap there, so Crane on those brand new fresh Firestone Firehawk tires, looking to carve up the competition and carve up the track here as it gets cooler at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Once again, so glad to have you with us. We've been experiencing technical issues, but we are glad to have some good coverage for you of today's race, as it's been an interesting one with several cautions. We started with a long green flag stint of over 30 laps, and then we had our first caution of the day, and we saw a split in fuel strategy as some drivers choosing to come into the pits, that being Alexis Newsom and Jesper Orman, part of that group. They were running together, and here you can see Adam Crane trying to get that lap back from Alexis Newsom. So Adam Crane going down a lap because of green flag pit stops, and that's cycling Alexis Newman up to the lead. Alexis not really fighting that hard to keep Adam Crane a lap down. Alexis not really fighting for first in the championship, but I tell you, Alexis getting very close out there to the wall. And these tires maybe starting to go off a bit on Alexis's machine. That last time by a 26.94. And Adam Crane that time a 26.27, so 7/10 of a second faster than your race leader at the moment. And at that pace, it's only going to take about 30 to 35 laps until Adam can get all the way back around. We'll see how this all works out for Adam, but at the meantime, it is Alexis Newsom up in first, Jesper Orman, your second place driver on track, and Matthias Kraus up into that third position. As we mentioned at the top of the broadcast and throughout, beautiful new livery coming forward for Matthias Kraus. Awesome to see these different drivers putting forward the effort and creating custom liveries and really finding the sponsors and the colors, the designs that work for them, including this driver, Justin Petschauer. Of course, getting a chance to talk with Justin, it's not necessarily a sponsor of choice as much as it is a livery of choice. Call back to the old days of Champ Car, Team Forsyth, Cart, Indy 500, Jacques Villeneuve, and numerous others that have worn those colors over the years. The Sunoco, because I can mention that because it was one of the official sponsors of the IndyCar iRacing series. You see Adam Crane flying by on the inside of Emil Johansson. So this is your new battle on track. So we watch Adam Crane flying up the inside of Johansson. Now up into sixth position after that stop. And Chris Willite also in eighth, having made a stop, and Glennick's now in ninth, having made a stop. So we are going to be watching how this one can play out. And those drivers stopping on lap 90, 95, 96, 97-ish. So just 76 more of this one to go. Just 70, but seriously, at 26 seconds a lap, it is flying by as we continue green flag action here on track. And we are knee-deep in a very interesting strategy battle as we take a look at our leader having to thread the needle around Emil Johansson. And there, Justin Petschauer now shown in the pits. Alexis Newsom now coming down to take fuel. Again, 76 to go. I am not sure whether these drivers can make it to the end, possibly with yellow flags. Yes, they will know the answer to that question. Either way, we will find out together here on IndyCar iRacing Series coverage here, VirtualRacing.Network, and Jesper Orman taking over the lead, but also coming into the pits. Matthias Kraus now will take over the lead. No, will also come into the pits, as well as you see several drivers. Their accident just ahead, as two drivers getting far too close on pit lane, that being Jesper Orman and Emil Johansson, who we were just discussing. I think Johansson braking earlier than Orman was expecting, and so now Fritz, Kraus, and Orman back in as Adam Crane sails by on the track. Chris Willite does the same, and it's back to Crane in front and Willite in second, and Glenix in third, and Alexis Newsom now rejoins back in fourth place. So as these drivers start to circle back around, it's Newsom down by 10 seconds over Crane. But just ahead, you see Newsom about to rejoin this fight with Unglenix. So Unglenix or Newsom not really making up distance on one another, but I tell you who did get held up the most. It's Jesper Orman, who has slid back 4.4 seconds. Orman was up with Unglenix before that round of pit stops, and I think that exchange coming into contact with Johansson, perhaps causing either damage or an issue, maybe needing to take repair on pit lane, or perhaps just that slowdown causing enough time loss that Orman slipping back, heading into or out of the pits rather. Adam Crane, though, your leader, and there we can see on track Alexis Newsom and Robin Glenix now battling it out for third. And Newsom sliding by on the inside. Newsom down the inside and back up into podium position. And Glenix now slides back into fourth. These drivers definitely fighting it out for a top 10, at least in the championship. Possibly a top 5 by the time that this is all over. So interesting to have as many championship contenders as we do in the field today. It's great to have them back with us. Thank you to all of the competitors that make this a successful broadcast each and every week. We do appreciate your support, and make sure to like and subscribe the channel, the videos, share the heck out of these broadcasts if you would with your friends and your family, your teammates. Randomly get cards printed and throw them from helicopters. No, don't throw anything from helicopters. Don't do that. But we do appreciate the support. Matthias Kraus sliding around. Richard Crozier, that 4-6 spot, up 5 spots today. Kraus looking like it's in championship form. Gonna try for that top 5. As I mentioned, up 5 spots and hanging in there as we are well over the halfway mark. When we look back up front, it's Adam Crane who has assumed the lead once again. And we do have a yellow. We wait to see it's go and win into the wall on the start-finish straightaway, coming to a rest just before the start-finish line and pulling it into the pits. Unfortunately, that will likely end. Goen had an incident before, and unfortunately, this is definitely going to hurt their chances. Already up 5 positions on the day. Sadly, this will take them out of competition for that top 10 position as the drivers stream by on the outside. Currently have 9 drivers on the lead lap, and I'll tell you who this helps a lot. So we see Adam Crane diving into the pit entry. Will Chris Willite follow suit? Will they split strategy? This is the question at hand. Who will decide to come in? Who will not? Chris Willite choosing not to come in. Adam Crane, your defending points leader, choosing to come in almost by himself, as we see all of the other competitors, save for Cesar Manzato. And of course, you see there the broken machine of Go and Win there, still in pit box in the pit lane. So Crane now making the championship deciding move with implications to break away, take fresh tires, take fresh fuel, you know, and you have to question, you don't question the move. I think you assume that Crane knows exactly what they're doing out there. Adam Crane, the defending series champion, doing well in pretty much all the series that Crane is participating in at the moment. One of the definite top drivers of IndyCar on iRacing, an incredible amount of experience in executing strategy like no one's business out there, but one of those top elite drivers, and making the decision here to fall back to 8th place with fresh tires and fuel. And I think this really works in Crane's favor. Let me tell you why. And I'm kind of surprised the other drivers did not stop, because this puts Crane in position to go to the end. I believe, especially with caution laps, this is Crane's race to run until the end. Now that may leave, if we go green until the end, that may leave Crane in a vulnerable position, but Crane can also respond by coming in should there be a yellow flag to take tires or fuel at that point. Won't need fuel actually, so to take tires. Crane kind of hanging back here, not sure what that part of the strategy is all about, but perhaps just clutching it in maybe, saving fuel. I mean, there's all kinds of ways to try to enact your strategy here in the IndyCar iRacing series, and that is part of the excitement of it. So while we are at yellow here, we can take a look at the races that do remain on our calendar. And of course, coming up soon, we will be visiting Road Atlanta. There was talk of possibly replacing that track. That has not occurred. And it will be a graphics update, which is going to be great. I actually have not raced. Oh, no, I did take one race there, and it was beautiful. So I take it back. I did get a chance to experience it. But I'm looking forward to showing it off on broadcast just as much, I think, as you are to seeing these cars head around Road Atlanta. It's an exciting track out there. Little tight and twisty, but that makes it fun to see these drivers as Gearhart gets the wave around. And also Johansson gets the wave around. You can see what that's like as the drivers head around the track. Then you'll see later on in this season, we get to go to Laguna Seca and Long Beach. Awesome that we get to do that. Drivers will be very much looking forward to it, as some of the other series as well getting to go to that track, and then real life also visiting Laguna Seca as well. But all of the real life competitors out at Gateway this week, of course, on track shortly if they're not already out there. I appreciate if you are watching here and you're skipping some of the action there. Appreciate it. You're not missing anything here as we are live and commercial free. And we're getting set to do more battle here as we get to the end of this one. It is anyone's race as Chris Willite now leads us back to the green flag, not having stopped on this last caution, along with Alexis Newsom in second under attack, as well as Robin Glennox, and Jesper Orman times it and goes down the inside of Robin Glennox, moved Jesper up into the third spot, now tucking in behind Alexis Newsom on the track for third spot. Alexis Newsom just in front, now falling back 2.4 seconds. I am not sure what happened on that start at all, but Alexis really struggling with that start. You can see that lead that Chris Willite has built. Let's go back and take a look at the start and see Alexis really holding back. I don't understand I thoroughly cannot understand what the plan was there. But Newsom, I want to mispronounce that name every time. Newsom holding back and ending up quite gapped, but that last time doing a 25.92 on track. And we'll go back to the live picture here as Newsom now trying to chase down. Whoops. Go back to the live picture, not the pre-recorded picture. And Newsom there leading leading Jesper Orman forward towards Chris Willite. This has been one of those weeks. I tell you what, it's been up and down. To go into the astrological signs and the moons and all of the constellations and the sun signs and moon signs and figure out where things are at, because it has seemed strange for me. Hope everything is safe and good where you're at out there in the internet and you're not experiencing internet outages or technical software glitches. We're watching a great race happen here regardless of what's happening in the VRN booth. It's Chris Willite leading Alexis Newsom and Jesper Orman, as well as Robin Glennox, Matthias Kraus, Richard Crozier, Dennis Fritz, Cesar Manzato, and then we get back to this driver, Adam Crane, purposefully took tires and fuel on the last stop. He's running a bit heavier than the rest of the competition at the moment, but has those fresh tires. Crane, we're going to listen again. Let's listen as Crane goes through turns 3 and 4. And I think if you're paying attention, you're hearing what I am hearing. Crane clutching the car heading into turn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Saving fuel, perhaps in a high fuel map. We're not going to divulge that information, but Crane involved in a very desperate fuel save attempt, perhaps making a gamble and taking that strategy to come into the pits may or may not pay off. Perhaps we'll need a few laps of caution to make it pay off. We will wait and see who has the best fuel strategy. It is your guess or mine. Anyone's guess as to who will win this one, as we see Alexis Newsom. How many ways can I mispronounce the name today? Alexis Newsom staying ahead of Jesper Orman for second place, and these two working well together. Now just 1.5 seconds back of your leader, Chris Willite. Willite splitting strategy now from Crane, choosing to stay out on track during that last caution. The beautiful purple and black machine of Willite, as has become quite familiar on big broadcasts for IndyCar on iRacing. That purple and black machine, kind of beautiful but dangerous as well. Don't mistake Chris Willite for a customer that will not come forward and give you a challenge for that race win, as he is doing right here. Chris Willite showing that expertise and leading lap 134 here at the IndyCar iRacing Series round 12 on VirtualRacing.Network. Willite continuing to put in good laps at 26.46 that last time by. We'll take a look. I'll change the ticker for a moment so you can see their last. I can't change the ticker. Never mind. I forgot. We're not going to get that ticker working today any differently than we've got it, but we appreciate it working at all at the moment. So Chris Willite leads by 1.6 seconds over Alexis Newsom, and Newsom leading by just 0.4 over teammate at Three Crowns Racing with IAR, Jesper Orman. My goodness, something in my water today as well, apparently. Jesper Orman in third. Oh my goodness. Somebody get the tomatoes out and start throwing at the screen. And there I momentarily saw somebody running down the order. Was it Fritz having a moment? It's Fritz and Crozier battling it out here for 5th and 6th on the screen. Matthias Kraus has safely gotten around for 4th place, up 7 spots for Kraus, but it's Fritz outperforming that 1658 iRating for sure, hanging tight on the inside, not having another moment like before. So we see Unglenix actually up in the 5th spot, and Unglenix back, and Fritz back in 6th. So we look back up in the front, and it is Willite leading Newsom and Orman, Matthias Kraus in 4th, and Rob Unglenix in 5th, your top 5. So the question is, as we go back and check in on Crane, let's listen in. Are we still clutching and coasting, or has the champion saved enough fuel? Appears as though we're not clutching and coasting anymore through the corners, so perhaps Crane has hit those marks that are necessary. Nope. There you can hear quite a long lift through the corner as your series defending champion on a massive fuel strategy. Will it work out in time? That is anyone's question. I believe that is go and win around the outside there. Yes, it is. Crane actually in 9th place on the track, and looking to move forward, but in a deep fuel saving strategy, and that will hamper the lap times. Last time a 27.02 to Chris Willite's 26.51, so Crane really, by clutching and coasting, not able to hang with the leaders at all. That last time a 26.51 by Chris Willite, a 26.43 by Alexis Newsom, and a 26.44 by Jesper Orman. Matthias Kraus actually a 26.24. So, and just as I say that, Orman with a 26.05 that time. So the driver's not quite super consistent from lap in and lap out, and that also something I have experienced personally while racing at this track. It's a little difficult to hold super consistent laps. Almost seems like it's important, without divulging too much strategy, let's just say it is important to keep the car balanced. And however you go about doing that may change from lap to lap. And so whether you're working the in-car adjustments, so we look at Matthias Kraus here running in 4th spot, up seven places today. Another great run for the Bavarian. Rob Unglenix, the American, also up there. 3 Americans in our top 5 here. Not recently we've been able to say that, but pretty amazing to see nonetheless with the level of international competition. Nevertheless, back to the original statement, it's all coming down to the in-car adjustments and then also the overall strategy of the tires and the springs and the dampers. They all work together into kind of this beautiful fusion, this symphony of this race playing out, and how your car responds over the course of the race. We do have a note that Crozier has actually crashed, but it's not true. Just Crozier spending enough time blinked out that it gave us a note. Back to the lead. Chris Willite still running in 1st, and we await some sort of change to this running order as Willite clicking off the laps. Just 40 laps to go. They will be going by in the blink of an eye. And either a yellow flag, there is the first blink. It is Chris Willite heading to pit road as Alexis Newsom goes sailing by on the outside. Willite late on the brakes. Does look like he made it in time. That's always a big question. That's such a difficult pit entry. It's a little bit blind. Kind of have to plan out when you want to jump on those binders. But Willite now in the pits receiving service. You see Dan Ench also in the pits. And Go and Win also taking service. As Newsom continuing on track. And Jesper Orman now also coming into the pits. So we expect also, with a big lock up there, Orman Perhaps not maybe making it down to the pit speed. We'll find out. But Newman, my goodness, my apologies to everybody on butchering their name, but Alexis Newsom will not follow suit into the pits. Instead, electing to stay out as we get a great, beautiful view into the visor. The focused eyes of Alexis Newsom looking at that steering wheel display, the Cosworth steering wheel on this Dallara IR18 doing battle. Heading into turn 3 there, dodging some lap competition and out of turn 4, still in the lead. It's Alexis Newsom leading Matthias Kraus in second place. Matthias having a fabulous run, and Dennis Fritz now fighting it out as Orman just in front, and Orman trying to stay in front of Fritz, does not want to lose the position, as Orman knows that could mean valuable time lost due to this pit stop cycle. Orman goes sailing by, and Fritz stays in third place, yet to pit for the final time. Crozier, well, Crozier can stay on screen and not blink out, running around in fourth place. That another beautiful color scheme of light seafoam green and kind of a purplish color. Always nice to see different color schemes out there. Cesar Manzato currently in fifth place, up 4 spots. Cesar Manzato fan club. Unfortunately, Alex Richardson reporting in to chat that it was terminal, and we have a yellow flag out. It is Go and Win. Go and Win. Quite shockingly, having a moment with Jesper Orman. Win on the outside. Oh no. Win was surviving this race, and we'll just back it up on screen and take a look at what took place there. So we see Orman looking to get by, and it looks like Orman just kind of went in a little bit high into the corner. See if we go back to the chopper, whether we can tell what happened there. We back up and take one more look. There we see on board as, well, it looks like a little bit of net code, but also Orman came in a little high into the corner, managed to contact with Go and Win. I don't know that Win could have done much different, unfortunately, and that puts Win out of the race. We don't know whether Orman has sustained contact and damage as part of that. We go back, take a look at the live picture here. Now we can see everyone on pit road, including your leader, Alexis Newsom, Matthias Kraus in second, Dennis Fritz in third, Richard Crozier in fourth, and Cesar Manzato. Adam Crane also coming into the pits. I guess Crane not wanting to stay exposed on old tires and trying to overcome the strategy decision earlier that was forcing him to have to lift and coast, but now we'll be under the same strategy as everyone else, albeit a bit further back, and Alexis Newsom rejoins the track in first place with none other than Matthias Kraus now, who stayed out during that long stint. This yellow flag really bailing out Matthias Kraus, now in second place of this race. Fresh tires and fuel ready to go to the end, and we are set for a shootout here. It's going to be about a 33-lap shootout, as all these drivers will have fresh tires and fuel, and it will be up to them to see where they finish at the end of this one. So, running down the order, it is Matthias Kraus in second, Dennis Fritz running in third. All these drivers stopping. Richard Crozier, Adam Crane, Cesar Manzato now in sixth place. Laura Gearhart coming forward up into seventh. Also part of this group that has stopped. So now on the lead strategy. Gearhart, a legit seventh place, up 7 spots. And I don't know if it's just trading paint, not necessarily loading that livery correctly, but usually Laura with her favorite sponsor on the side pod. And not seeing it this week, but the white logoed green and white Seattle-based coffee company usually adorning the side pod there. Chris Willite, who is shown now, is this right, getting caught a lap down? According to our timing, Chris Willite, a lap down, will get the wave around. And so Willite and Orman, as well as Unglenix, getting trapped a lap down, and we await them coming forward. I believe all these drivers stopping when they did will get the wave around, and we wait to see them all go by. There, Chris going by, Orman going by, Unglenix, Dan Ench picking up a lap. Believe possibly Justin Petshower would be the next driver, but Petshower trapped back there behind the leaders, will not get a lap back. So it will be Willite, Orman, and Unglenix getting their lap back. Very fortunate to get out when they did get that wave around. They will be starting at the tail end of the field, as all of these drivers will have tires and fuel to make it to the end. Unfortunately for Willite and Orman, as well as Unglenix, they may have possibly a little bit too much fuel on board, and possibly they will have 10 lap old tires compared to the rest of the field. It's really not that much. It's more like 7 laps, and some of those have been under caution, so not much of a disadvantage. But Alexis Newsom leading the race, first time here on Broadcast Friday. So glad to have you with us. We have a new leader. It's Alexis Newsom here on VirtualRacing.Network, leads us to the green flag, and it is Matthias Kraus in second place. Dennis Fritz in third, as we can see Richard Crozier in fourth, not getting an excellent start, and a gap with now Adam Crane flying down the inside. Adam Crane already making moves, heading up to the front, getting by Crozier. Now currently up into the fourth spot. Yellow. And we are yellow again. Hearing a yellow flag, we are looking for the damage on track, and we are not getting a note of where it is coming from, so we continue to look around. Obviously a debris caution called by IndyCar. Competition caution coming here on lap 157. No, seriously, there is no note. I'll try to look through the field. I don't see any problems necessarily for any of the competitors. I'm not sure if that was a momentary... Take a look at some of these drivers. I see Mattia Passini in the pits, or excuse me, out of the race. Of course, Quentin Waynick out of the race. Chris Bartel out of the race as well. Alex J. Richardson reporting in on YouTube out of the race. So not sure exactly what happened here, but go back and take a look at this one from overhead. So we are under caution for, I believe, the 6th time today, as Alexis Newsom now leads us around. And once again, all of these drivers have already done their final pit stop, so we don't expect any of them to make a final stop for tires and fuel. Although we do see Chris Willite and Rob Unglenix actually having taken advantage of this pit stop to do the same. I'm not sure if maybe they... I'm not sure if they're serving a penalty. Perhaps suffering a penalty. We will wait to see whether these drivers actually take service here. And they do. So I guess just electing to take the freshest fuel. Nothing really to lose here, as they were going to be starting back at the back of the pack anyway. And is Unglenix? Yeah, Unglenix going just behind. So not really a huge change to strategy here, as we have Alexis Newsom in the lead, Matthias Kraus in second, Dennis Fritz in third, Adam Crane in fourth. Crane will have to make his way by And this will be interesting as it shakes out with, you know, the competition couldn't be any different. But you've got Alexis Newsom in first, Matthias Kraus in second. These drivers, 4,700 iRating for Newsom. Kraus in second, 2,731. Dennis Fritz in third with a 1,658 iRating. And Adam Crane with a 43.58. So Fritz fighting well above their weight here in this series. And, you know, at the same time, Crane might have some question marks. What might I face from Fritz heading into turn one when we go green? So you would expect the champion knows all the moves under the sun to get it done. Forgive the pun. Forgive the rhyme of the pun after saying forgive the pun. But anyway, Adam Crane is going to have to get it done here tonight at Gateway. And we've seen Crane involved in a split strategy that saw him a whole lap down for a while, and then managed to fight back and get the lead lap back. Now on the same strategy as the leaders, but has had to fight his way from the back. Now currently sitting in fourth, and we await to see whether or not he will have the pace. He has thus far and did in the beginning, but does he have the pace to make the passes he needs to and get back to the front and take the maximum amount of points from this Broadcast Friday Strength of Field race? That is the question. Again, thank you to everybody joining us over in YouTube chat. Handful of you over there, do appreciate it. As always, Thomas Christensen joining in. Oh, and we see Jason Lowe joining in, at least earlier. Thanks for popping over, Jason Lowe. Do appreciate it. And I believe Jesper letting me know 186 laps to start. Indeed, got it wrong. So if you saw those graphics in the beginning, I don't know where they came from as far as the number of laps, but somehow something got crossed up. Today was just filled with all kinds of technical glitches, but you know the show goes on. Been in show business for quite a long time, and you got to have thick skin here. Lots of people going to throw tomatoes, but you got to come out there and keep singing, you know what I mean? So here we go. And it's the same thing for the competitors. I mean, really, it's true. Just because you're not having the day that might be of your dreams, so we watch from Adam Crane's perspective on this start, but may not be the day of your dreams, but you never know when it's going to turn around and everything's going to come back. We've got everything we could want here, as we've got a multiple car shootout for the end of this one.
Green, green, green.
It's Alexis Newsom leading us back to the green flag with Matthias Kraus second and Dennis Fritz third. We're watching on board from Adam Crane as we've got 24 to go here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And Gateway, as it is formerly known, at Gateway as it is currently known, Adam Crane currently in fourth place. We await to see whether this driver is going to move forward or not for the end of this one. We expect it almost. Alexis Newsom, though, is doing everything she can to put some big gap between her and the rest of the field, up 0.6 of a second over Matthias Kraus, getting that jump on the start as we've seen Chris Willite do and Adam Crane do earlier. So up 0.6, now 0.9 of a second, a 25.69 that time by, as we see Matthias Kraus now sliding back a full second. Dennis Fritz still in third. We take a look at this battle, but it's now starting up. Adam Crane dives down the inside of Fritz. Crane, the vastly more experienced driver on ovals, can't quite get that pass done on the inside. Now is going to try the outside on Fritz. Dives down the inside again. Can he get it done in turn 3 as the drivers come through 3 and 4? It's Crane to the third spot and the final podium position. Fritz not able to defend the series defending champion. Fritz has a momentary look down the inside, but not able to make that move back again. And Crane now sets his sights forward on Matthias Kraus. Matthias Kraus just in front, up 9 spots today. This is exactly the type of day that this driver wanted to have. Actually, at the moment, doing a little bit of work to climb a couple of points up on Adam Crane. So I say it kind of amazingly. I feel like, you know, there's a lot of expectations and a lot of championship caliber surrounding Adam Crane as he dives down to the inside, but Matthias Kraus showing quite well in today's race, and kind of serving notice to the rest of the field and Adam Crane as Crane drifts up the track a little bit. Gives Matthias a little hello, son, but I'm taking those points from you. Little kiss from Canada to the Bavarian. And Kraus, you know, doing well to respond. Doesn't crash, doesn't take out Crane, and survives to live another lap. Hanging in there in third. And again, one of our points competitors in this championship. Someone to keep an eye on, continually doing well week in and week out. In the meantime, we continue to take a look through the field as Crane makes his way forward. Now having gotten by Kraus, it's now just a second back on Alexis Newsom, but Fritz now sliding back in the order. Crozier back into 5th, up 7 spots today. Manzato now back to 6, up 3 spots. And Gearhart fighting it out with Willite. Willite was the leader at one moment, but strategy causing him to get trapped a lap down and have to fight it back. Now coming forward in a hurry with fresh tires, but will it be too little too late with 15 laps to go? Can he get all the way back up to the front? And we'll keep an eye on that battle. In the meantime, as we jump on board the VRS satellite racing machine of Adam Crane, taking a look forward at Alexis Newsom, now just a part of a straightaway ahead. Will Newsom be able to defend the spot? 2.2 seconds remain. That gap separating Alexis Newsom from a win potential here on broadcast of VirtualRacing.Network. From series defending champion and the points leader Adam Crane, who has had quite an up and down day. Will Crane be able to prevail? That time by at 26:16 for Crane. Alexis Newsom at 26:12. So these drivers matching lap times. Newsom giving it her all to stay in front. The American looking good here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. That Vopsy paint job supplied by Vilda Wallen. You can look up Vopsy over on Instagram, putting out great liveries and graphics for the PMRL as well. And I think, you know, I believe just as well as anyone does that good stickers on your car give an extra advantage for sure. So definitely, the better look in your paint job, it's definitely worth an extra couple of tenths a second, I would say. Alexis carrying a good looking paint job up to the front and up 2.21 seconds over Adam Crane. So Crane flying through turn 4, and it's just 11 laps to go. Crane not quite able to chip into that lead. Last time by Alexis Newsom, a 26.32. Crane slower, a 26.36. Matthias Kraus, a 26.34. So these drivers all running within the same tenths of each other. That's not going to get it done for Adam Crane today, and it looks like Newsom continuing to keep pace. That time even faster, a 26.23 to Adam Crane's 26.31. And I tell you what, this may be Alexis Newsom's moment in the sun here as we count down the laps. 9 laps remaining, just now 8 laps to go. Just 8 clicks remaining across that start-finish line. If you're Alexis Newsom right now, you are just trying to hit your marks, lap in and lap out. Only so many times down this back straightaway into turn 3. No heavy movement. Smooth movements on board with Alexis Newsom. Nice smooth driver inputs. Looks like she's on a Sunday drive. Nice and easy. That Three Crowns Racing with IAR car settling so well into the corner. Turn 1 and 2. Looks like it's on rails. That time by, again, just Adam Crane only managing to chip in 3/100ths of a second on Newsom. So unless Newsom gets held up by this lap competition, which it looks like they're giving way, Newsom here in great shape with 6 laps to go, coming up on a lapped car of Emil Johansson. Emil conceding the position to the outside, and Newsom now heading towards the start-finish stripe with just 5 laps to go. Will we see a new winner here on VirtualRacing.Network's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing series? Anything possible as we watch to find out alongside you. Exciting stuff. And I have to tell you that thus far, I believe the fastest lap at 25.69. That's what our software reporting to us. And that is just off of the world record set here by Philip Kraus. As we get 4 laps to go here, just to let you know the type of quality racing that you're seeing. Alexis Newsom's best lap time here, just off of the world record for 2021 from Philip Kraus. That is what we've been seeing today, and that type of speed, faster than Adam Crane last time by Alexis Newsom, the fastest car on the track. Adam Crane hanging in there in second place. I say hanging in. It is a weird thing to say because Adam Crane showed like perhaps he was the fastest on track in the first stint, but not quite able to hang with the speed machine of Alexis Newsom out in front of this one. Just 2 laps remaining for this amazing driver. United States of America actually might take a victory here for one of our races. Alexis, just 1 more lap to go for Alexis Newsom here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. She's looked great all day. Stayed clean and consistent at one time. Had Jesper Orman fighting with her for second place, her teammate, but after 186 laps, it's Alexis Newsom, your winner, a brand new winner here on VirtualRacing.Network. Congratulations to Alexis Newsom. And an amazing victory for Alexis. Adam Crane coming home in second place and Matthias Kraus in third. Absolutely astounding run from these drivers. Alexis Newsom bringing it home in first. As we can see, some of the drivers, they're having a little bit of trouble after the cool down begins, but Adam Crane in second, Matthias Kraus third, Dennis Fritz in fourth, Newsom pulling it into the pits there. And we'll look forward to seeing if possibly we can get Newsom to come over. Certainly hope we can get Crane in on the broadcast as well, and be able to talk to you guys. Absolutely fantastic run by Newsom and Crane. Unfortunately, I don't think our software will show us the final results, so I will give you those verbally in just a moment. As we get back over and take a look, hopefully we can get at least Adam Crane to join us in the broadcast booth, and we will see whether or not they catch the notification, we're over in the VirtualRacing.Network channel on Discord. Of course, we have dropped that link over in the IndyCar Discord, as well as I will drop it into chat here for any of the competitors. But we do appreciate everybody who does join us for after race interviews. In the meantime, the thing to really talk about here was the finish, and it was Alexis Newsom coming home with the win. An absolutely stellar finish from Newsom. I mean, it was something to behold all day. Not making any mistakes, taking advantage of strategy. Well-deserved victory over Adam Crane, and of course Matthias Kraus as well in third place. Dennis Fritz coming home in fourth, as well as, I'm going to see if possibly it will allow us to show on screen. No, sadly it will not allow us to show the final results on screen, but Alexis Newsom, Adam Crane in second, Matthias Kraus in third, Dennis Fritz fourth, Richard Crozier in fifth, Cesar Manzato in sixth, Chris Willide in seventh, Robin Glennox in eighth, Laura Gearhart in ninth, 10th went to Jesper Orman, and Ruben Torres, they're showing up a lap down. Justin Petschauer also part of that a lap down party in 12th, Emil Johansson in 13th, Dan Ench in 14th, Kurt Hugh Jensen, in 15th, Andrew Marquez in 16th, and unfortunate for Marquez, suffering an earlier issue, is making go and win there in 17th, having issues today. Alex Foden also having issues, as well as Alex J. Richardson was up in the top 10 and unfortunately suffering some issues and needing to exit the race. Mattia Passini and Chris Bartel, Quentin Waynick having issues and dropping out of the race today. But quite an amazing race filled with strategy, difficult caution flags as well, bringing some different moments of strategy into the light. But unfortunately, we're going to miss the interviews with Adam Crane. Perhaps has other things to get to today, and potentially with Alexis Newsom and Matthias Kraus, but we do look forward to having them join us on future broadcasts. Again, I will drop that link into the broadcast, so look for that in the chat. And of course, we look forward to seeing all of you again next time, as we will try to get the points the schedule back up onto screen, and we can see where we're headed next. Will be, of course, Road Atlanta, as we were talking about earlier, and WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca coming up after that, as well as Long Beach. So once again, so awesome to have you here. And actually, we do thank you so much for coming over. My goodness, was just about to wrap up the broadcast, but I think they had to run from the track from Victory Circle, or to Victory Circle, and then back over to the broadcast booth. But we do have Adam Crane joining us, and I also see Alexis Newsom will be able to join us here in just a moment. So in just a second, I'll be able to bring Adam in. And we will just simply join the waiting lounge. And so there's Adam Crane. Unfortunately, we had to join the waiting lounge. I cannot tell you how many technical glitches you're unaware, Adam Crane, that we had during this broadcast, but we still managed to make it and show the vast majority of it. Adam Crane, second place today on the track. Kind of strange for me to say that, Adam, as you're regrouping after this one. Can you tell me about the race? It seemed like you qualified on pole. You had everything absolutely, completely under control today, and then caution struck. What happened, and what happened in today's race, Adam?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say it's strange to finish P2. I mean, there are lots of strong competitors up at the top level of these races. Alexis being one of them. Obviously, congrats to her for winning the race. Honestly, there was that caution there in the middle of the race where I decided to stay out, and a group of cars boxed, including Alexis, boxed behind. So that sort of set two differing strategies for the race going. I thought that I probably had a winning strategy if it stayed green. There were a few windows there where if there were yellow, I'd really get screwed, and I needed to make sure when I exited the pits that I was able to get that lap back from Lexus as soon as I could. Otherwise, I'd be sort of screwed on a restart, getting placed back behind cars. But then I ended up doing it to myself by trying to take a flyer on a differing fuel strategy that, based on the numbers I was seeing, could have got me home without stopping again after that second last caution. Ended up topping up. Um, and boxing again and topping up just so I could make it, and stuck it in a lower fuel map, and was able to make it. But then that last caution there at the end just sort of sunk the strategy. So ended up having to work my way up through the pack. Had some good battles there with Matthias and Dennis, but ultimately the gap to Alexis was just a little too big, and she was super quick and clean air.
Absolutely. Yeah, and amazingly quick, actually faster than yourself, which was
Oh,
interesting.
don't say that.
She was fastest car on track and able to pull away just a little bit there. That might I've it's amazing for me to say. That's why I was kind of shocked
Yeah.
here. It looked like you had it covered, but still at the same time, Adam, it was interesting to watch. We were on board. We were watching you fuel save as you made that decision to split from the rest of the field, take that caution flag and come into the pits, take fresh tires and fuel, try to make it to the end. You were actually clutching and coasting. It was a little scary to watch myself. You got to really know what you're doing, but that was a very aggressive fuel strategy save, and potentially could have worked out in your favor towards the end. We were watching to see if that did work out. Nevertheless, it was exciting, as you said, to watch you track through the rest of the field. You were racing with Dennis Fritz, only 1600 iRating, but executed himself very well out there, and yet you had close battles with him as well as Matthias Kraus, who's one of your championship rivals right now in the series, up there in the points. This is a great championship, and I'm glad that we got to see as many of the championship contenders, such as yourself and them, battle it out here on Broadcast Friday.
Yeah, it's always great to see super strong, competent drivers out for a broadcast race, and it makes the experience of driving and racing and battling a lot better. Didn't know Dennis had that low of an iRating, though. I mean, I could sort of tell based on his car number. But it's always great when you're racing around people who have control of the car and are predictable, and you're able to place your car in such a way as to be able to overtake and maintain gaps, etc. It's just a really good experience to know that you can trust someone. And Dennis being up in the top five, I sort of had a guess that he was probably a little more competent than some of the others that were in the field. Which, I mean, you're going to get all sorts in a single split race, which is sort of
Single
what we saw
split.
tonight. Yeah. But yeah, I don't pity myself at all for feeling like coming home P2 was less than what the car could do. Alexis is a strong driver, strong competitor, and congrats to her.
Absolutely. Well, we appreciate you joining us here on broadcast as always. The series defending points champion and still leading the points, and we wish you well for the rest of the season. Of course, we've still got several races to go, and we can't wait to see how it unfolds for you and the rest of the competitors. So good luck for the rest of the season, Adam.
Yeah, thanks a lot, and thanks to everyone at VirtualRacing.Network for putting on these races. It might not seem like it, but it's important to grow the community, and it's super great that you're able to put on these broadcasts.
Oh, thank you so much for saying so. I do appreciate it, Adam. Thank you very much. Adam Crane joining us again, not just top racer here in the IndyCar iRacing series, but also competing across multiple leagues and series leading in the Indy Road Open Series as well, and numerous other series that he appears in. So great to have that level of competition. But I tell you what, it was, as I mentioned, Alexis Newsom's day. It was amazing to call from the very beginning, as we saw her running a strong second place with Jesper Orman just behind, but it was Alexis's day. And Alexis, have you had a chance to let it sink in? Have the final laps happen? Congratulations and welcome to the first broadcast interview here. Congratulations on your victory here at Worldwide Technology Raceway.
Hi, Trevor. Yeah, it's a little weird to be ahead of Adam this week. It's like, honestly, had nothing for him if he had gotten close. He was consistently about half a tenth to a tenth faster every lap.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I had the fastest lap in clean air, but that was on new tires, and he was in dirty air when the track temp dropped. So, yeah, he was great this week, and I really didn't think I'd win. It was mostly just luck.
Wow, that is so amazing to hear. The confidence looked super high on the track. You didn't seem to make any mistakes at all. It just looked like you were glued to that racetrack on a rail. Obviously, your setup this week really hanging in there overall. Jesper tried to keep up with you and was dodging in and out, but unfortunately some strategy things keeping Jesper back there, not able to help you at the end, and you didn't seem to need it. You were just clean and consistent, and as you said, it was a little shocking to me. I'm used to Adam being able to do whatever he wants with the car and pretty much pass whoever he wants, but he could not really hold with you there at the very end. You had the fastest car on track, and you definitely earned this victory. So going through it, it changed so many times with those cautions, yet you seemed to be at the right place at the right time each time. Was it constantly changing for you, or did you seem to be able to stick to basically the strategy that you wanted from the very beginning?
Well, both me and Jesper didn't really have a set strategy coming into the race, so we figured there'd be cautions. And if there weren't, we were just going to pit every 50 laps. But since we did get that many cautions, and kind of every time I pitted was just on a win, the first time under caution, I figured I wasn't going to catch Adam without doing something different. And Jesper and everyone at 3CR made a great setup this week. It was really good. And actually made this track kind of fun. I don't usually like it here, but it made it really easy to be consistent, hit my marks, and be fast at the same time.
Well, how cool is it that you do have great teammates, that everybody works on the setups, and that when, I agree with you. This is one of those tracks that if you have a setup that's going south and it has evil tendencies, boy, it can make it really easy to hate Gateway. But when it handles beautifully and just as you did today, I mean, we were on board with you, and it was like it was just on rails. You had no movements from your hands. It was super smooth out there. Again, you need that kind of performance. You need that kind of setup to be able to beat someone like Adam Crane, who's at the top of not only this championship but several others at the moment, and you know that because you race against him in other series. But you had it all clicking today, and we've seen you on other broadcasts, but this may be the first in many that we get a chance to see you here on VirtualRacing.Network in the winner's circle. So congratulations, Alexis, and fantastic job, and great job in the championship, moving up in the points. And I just want to say we're going to be looking forward to more top fives from Alexis Newsom. So anyone else you want to give a shout out to here today, as you're the victor and all eyes are on you?
Well, just thanks to you, Trevor, and everyone at VRN for putting on the broadcast. And thanks, Jesper, and VCR, IAR, and everybody else who's helped me. I know I'm still relatively new around here, and I'm still learning every race, and I hope to be back here soon.
Well, there you go. Alexis bringing it home for Three Crowns Racing and IAR, a solid victory and an absolute graceful winner, as well as kind of shocked, it sounds like to me, but nevertheless, absolutely solid performance from Alexis Newsom. And of course, congratulations also going out to Adam Crane, who has another championship run, faces adversity, comes from the back of the pack, even a lap down, and manages some strategy to get back up into that second place. Just more of that amazing Adam Crane VRS Satellite Racing magic happening and getting him back up into second, and some championship implications behind that as well. As, of course, Matthias Kraus having a fantastic day here on broadcast. This was a wonderful race to cover from a strategy standpoint. Really hope you enjoyed it out there on VirtualRacing.Network. Again, super appreciate everybody's comments. Thank you so much, Alexis, for joining us, and good luck with the rest of your season and all of these competitors. We hope to see you back here for our next race, so make sure to tune in and join us. If you subscribe to the channel, of course, you will be able to get notified of the future races and kind of keep track of all the races that we're doing here on VirtualRacing.Network. So definitely make sure you check out Sundays at 7 o'clock Pacific time, 10 o'clock Eastern time in the United States for the US IndyCar League. We have the remainder of that season coming up, just one more race to go. And then also on Wednesdays covering the Prime Meridian Racing League, just a few races remaining there as well. We look forward to having you join us on Wednesdays over there. Again, all of these races scheduled here on VirtualRacing.Network's YouTube channel. So once again, on behalf of myself here at VirtualRacing.Network, Trevor Greenfield, and all of these competitors, the 2021 IndyCar iRacing Series, it's been an absolute pleasure to bring you these broadcasts all season, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, bye-bye for now. Thanks, everyone.